supports abolishing systemic racism. Plans to upgrade Joshua Obadiah Williams Primary School underway, and CFBC holds TVEM's IT Capstone Project 2023. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Boom! Join in the experience with Courts Ready Cash for the ZIZ Music Festival with a loan of $3,000 or more and pay nothing for 60 days. Plus, you could be eligible for a reduced interest rate. Don't miss out. Enjoy flexible payment terms, hassle-free service, and fast approval. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. That is it. Apply now. Visit shopcoats.com or call 466-1640 or 662-9425. Get your full ZIZ Music Festival experience with Courts Ready Cash. We are ready whenever you are. Conditions apply.
In cricket, there are a few essentials: a bat, a pitch, a ball, some fielders, and plenty of refreshments. Enjoy the cricket with Angostura Chill. Angostura Chill, the official refreshment partner of the Hero CPL T20.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Berridge. St. Kitts and Nevis' permanent representative to the United Nations, Her Excellency Ambassador Neris Dakari, says the Federation continues to embrace the efforts to abolish systemic racism. Ambassador Dakari made these remarks while addressing the second session of the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent, PFPAD, on Tuesday at the United Nations headquarters in New York.
The abolition of systemic racism requires a systemic response, and St. Kitts and Nevis is proud to align itself with the CARICOM statement and to stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters across the Caribbean community in making the call for reparatory justice and increasing our advocacy within the United Nations system to identify pragmatic steps towards its achievement. Reparatory justice for injury, loss, and damage caused by centuries of chattel slavery, native genocide, and deceptive indentureship is the defining cause of our time to which we must dare to be worthy, especially as the International Decade for Persons of African Descent winds down. St. Kitts and Nevis, therefore, fully supports the extension of the International Decade for People of African Descent for another decades. Change has been slow in coming, but change will.
She noted that St. Kitts and Nevis stands solidly behind CARICOM's 10-point action plan for reparatory justice.
St. Kitts and Nevis stands solidly behind CARICOM's 10-point plan that demands that the descendants of those perpetrators who benefited from slavery and the diabolical transatlantic trade in Africans must return to the scene of the crime, for there is a case to be answered. It also demands that the humanity of the persons of African descent who continue to experience the deleterious effect of that sordid system must also be acknowledged and affirmed, first by way of an apology, and then through the implementation of a radical social, political, health, education, and economic justice program.
In the context of the second session of the PFPAD, Ambassador Dakari challenged all participants to dare something worthy, adding that, quote, "it was the rationale upon which the United Nations was built," end quote. The Permanent Forum on People of African Descent runs from May 30th to June 2nd, 2023. It is being held under the theme Realizing the Dream, a United Nations Declaration on the Promotion, Protection, and the Full Respect of the Human Rights of People of African Descent. It has been over a year since fire has destroyed a significant portion of the main compound of the Joshua Obadiah Williams Primary School in the village of Molyneux, and the Ministry of Education has expressed to the Department of Public Works that in rebuilding the school, they want it to be modernized. This was disclosed by Director of the Public Works Department, Mr. George Gilbert, during the most recent edition of In Focus.
Yes, with the Joshua Obadiah Williams, we are getting ready to go to tender with that project. That project, initially when the school caught fire, our intention was just to rehab it as is, put it back as is, really take off the roof, clean up, new windows, new doors, and have it going in short order. But the school, the Ministry of Education, they said no. That school is the oldest school in the Federation and is not meeting the standard of a modern school. So what they want to do is to take the opportunity to upgrade this.
He also mentioned what modernizing the school entails.
So now they want the school to have, let's say, 2 doors for each classroom, electrical in the classrooms, because this classroom had no electricity but the lights alone in the roof. So they want the classrooms to be, electrical. They want them to reflect a modern school. So we had to do some addition to the school, upgrade to the school. We increased the kindergarten size, and we have done a number of work when it comes to the design. We did some preliminary design. We met with the education department, the management, and also the staff, the senior staff at the school. We had a discussion. They looked at our plan. They made some input, and then we go back to the drawing board. We made the adjustments. We came back to another meeting with them. The ministers were there. The Minister from Education, Minister for Public Infrastructure were there. And we discussed again, and then we move ahead. After we agreed on the design, then we move ahead with the working drawing.
Mr. Gilbert noted that the Public Works Department is 98% done with the working drawings and the bill of quantities, which they are aiming to roll out to be tendered in the second week of June. Now, in its 9th year, the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College CFBC TVEM's Information Technology Capstone Project was held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort Ballroom on Wednesday. More in this report.
The CFBC TVEM's Information Technology Capstone Project provides a platform for students to showcase their creativity, innovation, and problem-solving skills. Public Relations Director of the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association, Patrina Pereira, explained the purpose of the event.
The Capstone Project is the culmination of our students' academic journey, representing the pinnacle of their education in information technology. It serves as a comprehensive demonstration of their knowledge, skills, and expertise gained throughout their years of study. In essence, the Capstone Project is a practical application of the theories, concepts, and technical skills our students have acquired. It is an opportunity for them to showcase their ability to tackle real-world problems and provide innovative solutions within the realm of information technology. The projects our students present today are the result of months of meticulous planning, extensive research, and hands-on development.
Chairman and founder of the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association, Dr. Ricardo Neal, said it is important to showcase the work of young people.
It gives the students, specifically the final year student, the platform to present their work. Give them a platform to show their work. I am one of the believers who believe that you should put students in a position to show their work. Let the public sector, let the private sector, let the government, let everyone see what the students have to offer. And so we have been doing that for a while. As a result of the success of this program, we have formed, and I am really proud that out of this Capstone initiative, we have formed the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association. And I think that is a feat. That association has 16 directors and close to 300 members and counting. And so as these students make the transition between the tertiary institution and the real world of work, I want you guys to cheer them on, to work with them as we make our transition from here to the real world for the young people.
Senator Honorable Iselin Phillip commended the CFBC and the students for their efforts in building the capacity of STEM in the Federation.
We really need to encourage our young people and our youth in the area of STEM, because that is just the way the world is going. And so we do need to prepare our students and our young people to really engage and really embrace this field of work, this field of advancement and education, because we have to be prepared for globalization that has already outpaced us, and the technical advancements that are just happening beyond where we are at currently. And so as part of this administration's thrust towards a sustainable island state, we're really depending on all of you young people and the work that you are doing to help us to get to where we need to be in terms of sustainability, in terms of diversifying our economy, and really providing the innovative solutions to ensure that we can be sustainable in everything that we do.
The event saw presentations by CFBC TVEM's final year students in areas including drone research development, aerial and marine, humanoid research and development, computer repairs, research and development, website and app development, gaming research and development. Reporting for ZIZ News, I'm Carla Barrage.
Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew will meet with United States Vice President Kamala Harris in the Bahamas next week. Dr. Drew will be among Caribbean presidents and prime ministers meeting with the Vice President Harris on Thursday, 8th June 2023 in the U.S. Caribbean Leaders Meeting. It will be co-hosted by Vice President Harris and Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Honorable Philip Davis, who is the current chair of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. According to the U.S. Embassy in the Bahamas, this meeting builds on the Vice President's previous meetings with Caribbean leaders in April 2022 at the June 2022 Summit of the Americas in Los Angeles and in September 2022. The Vice President's trip delivers on the Biden-Harris administration's commitment to advance cooperation with the Caribbean in pursuit of shared prosperity and security, and in recognition of the common bonds and interests between the nations. The U.S. Caribbean Leaders Meeting will address a range of regional issues. Vice President Harris and Caribbean leaders will continue discussions on shared efforts to address the climate crisis, including by promoting climate resilience and adaptation in the Caribbean region and by increasing energy security through clean energy. The meeting builds on the U.S. Caribbean Partnership to Address the Climate Crisis 2030, launched by the Vice President and Caribbean leaders in Los Angeles at the Summit of the Americas. The U.S. Vice President is traveling to the Bahamas during Caribbean African Heritage Month and will celebrate the long-standing people-to-people ties between the Caribbean and the United States. After the break, EMS undergoing training sessions and the Guatemalan contingent meets with officials. Stay with us.
SL Horses and Company Limited, providing a greener future for the exceptional people that we value.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your National Bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
Welcome back. The Emergency Medical Services EMS Department at the Joseph N. Franz General Hospital began a comprehensive training course on pre-hospital emergency care on Tuesday. This course aims to enhance the skill sets of the EMS staff, enabling them to provide optimal care for patients under their supervision. The sessions are facilitated by Matthew Rolfe, a former paramedic from the United Kingdom and founder of EMS International. According to a statement, this training course represents the systematic and data-driven approach being demonstrated by the administration to improving pre-hospital emergency care. Mr. Rolfe stated, quote, "I'm here to help out and to hopefully help develop EMS services so that there is comparability with international emergency health professionals," end quote. While this course serves as a foundational program, the Ministry of Health remains dedicated to providing continuous opportunities for staff to further advance their knowledge and skills. Over the course of 5 days, the training course will cover updated techniques and procedures in emergency care. This experience is expected to empower the 12 participants to handle various emergency scenarios effectively, equipping them with the necessary tools to address critical situations with confidence. On Tuesday, a Guatemalan contingent comprising Stuardo Rallon, the candidate for the Inter-American Commission of Human Rights, along with the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Carla Ricari, and the Ambassador of Guatemala to the Organization of American States, Her Excellency Rita Claveri de Scioli, met with Ambassador Larry Vaughan, head of the Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit, RIDU, and other government officials. Also present were Glenroy Blanchett, Permanent Secretary in the Prime Minister's Office, Desiree Huggins, Assistant Secretary, and Bjorn Hazel, Foreign Service Officer. The contingent also met with Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, at government headquarters. The meetings are part of their efforts to solicit St. Kitts and Nevis' support for their candidature to the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights within the Organization of American States. During their discussions, the parties identified possible areas of cooperation in the tourism, agriculture, and transportation sectors, along with matters pertaining to human rights that St. Kitts and Nevis and Guatemala can seek to collaborate. Mr. Rallon stated that Guatemala and St. Kitts and Nevis, along with many of the CARICOM member states, share a unique relationship as they are grouped together as Latin America and the Caribbean by most international agencies. Thus, it is important to support each other where necessary. Mr. Rallon emphasized his eagerness to meet with the CARICOM heads of government at the upcoming high-level meeting scheduled to be held in Suriname later this year, where he will also seek to dialogue on how the governments can assist each other. He will also use the occasion to seek support for his re-election, as Guatemala is the only Central American integration system representative on the said body. The new interest rate for new and existing student loans at the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis takes effect on Thursday. Effective June 1st, the interest rate for existing student loans will be dramatically reduced from 9% to 5%. According to a statement from the bank, this decision by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and the Development Bank underscores their dedication to reducing the financial barriers faced by students, enabling them to pursue their life goals with greater ease and peace of mind. The bank said for students whose loan payments are up to date, they should call the office to make an appointment with an officer. They should also bring 2 pieces of identification and proof of address. Guarantors should accompany the student to the appointment or contact the bank if unable. The bank says once you've met with an officer and have signed all necessary documents, this would mean that you have completed the process of reducing the interest rate on your existing loan. Coming up in regional news, Brazil's Congress votes to limit recognition